Good afternoon to you viewers, the Colonel speaking to you live from the Grange for British Imperial YouTube Broadcasting. So you've got his master's voice record, Atmospherics, written by Ronald Jeans, spoken by Andre Charlot, Edward Cooper and Reginald Smith. It's described as a humorous sketch. Well, we shall be the judge of that, won't we, viewers?
This is the regional program. We have in the studio this evening Dr. Pom-Pom, Professor of Dramatics at Deauville University, who is going to give us one of his weekly talks on everyday ills and their treatment. Copyright throughout the British Isles and all ships at sea. Dr. Pom-Pom.
Good evening, everybody. I'm going to speak to you tonight on everyday ills and their treatment. Some of my listeners may unfortunately not be suffering from any of the ills I'm about to mention. These I would urge not to cease listening, but to take a pencil and a sheet of paper, preferably one that has not already been written on, and make a note of the symptoms as I mention them, so that when their turn to suffer comes, as come it must, they will be able to detect instantly whether they are suffering from earache or pains in the neck. I propose tonight to commence with the crown of the head, and if time permits, I hope to reach, at any rate, as far as
This is the national program. Major E.K. Knapsack, E&OE, of the Tan Cape Mounted Police, will give a short talk entitled My 3 Years Among the Natives on the Borders of Herbatia. Copyright throughout the United Kingdom and all ships at sea. Major Knapsack. On the 24th of April, 1922, with 3 canoes, 2 Pekingese, and the usual complement of lawn-mowers, stretcher-bearers, and clothes horses, our expedition penetrated the hilly country of Gardenia on the borders of Herbatia. Our numbers were now reduced to 4 men, 1 woman, and a Portuguese. The country around us was densely wooded, except on the north, south, east, and west, where stretched an unending vista of desert as far as the eye could see. This is the Northern Programme from Manchester. Mr. William Cable will give us a short talk entitled My Day's Work. Mr. Cable is a tram driver in the employ of the Manchester Corporation, and his talk will deal with one of those days on which the tram drivers are not on strike. Copyright throughout the United Kingdom and all ships at sea. Mr. William Cable.
Few people sitting in the tram ever think of the driver. It is therefore fortunate that the driver constantly thinks of the people sitting in the tram. Otherwise, he would be liable to ignore his conductor's signals and carry his passengers beyond their destinations, a course strongly depreciated by the corporation. Now, I dare say many of you sometimes wonder what it is that makes a tram go. You may have noticed an attachment to the roof of the car, not unlike a fishing rod, connecting it to the overhead cable. Through this rod flows a continuous stream of
tea, coffee, beer, wine, and spirits. On the other hand, plenty of cold water may be given. I have seen a case in which a chronic sufferer from neuritis has been cured by having his head completely shaved and a copper ring put through his nose. We afterwards learned that he was head of the tribe of the Kimbo, whose headquarters were at Barotra, a village nearby. Here he lives with his wives, of whom there are
700 in daily use. The wear and tear may be imagined. It is thus essential to keep them well oiled. To turn from the mechanic to the human side, the tram car is a great leveler of the classes. I have seen a bricklayer offer his seat to a lady, and when she refused to take it, I have seen him
give her just a good rubbing with camphorated oil. It is a mistake to imagine that muffling up is a protection against cold. In a normal climate, all the average woman needs wear is a couple of feathers. They are supposed by the superstitious natives to prevent a surprise attack. Where they are placed is optional, but among the natives of the Kimbo, the fashion is to wear one feather on the forehead and the other just above.
You realize this denotes that the tram in front is traveling away from you. A record is kept of all journeys and the driver who is systematically behind time is given
an injection of prison. This will rapidly tune up the system, and the patient will soon become aware of
a long bushy tail. It is his chief weapon of defense, and he uses it cleverly as a buffer to prevent being run into from behind.
Well, there was a fair run of old jokes there, weren't there, viewers? Some of which are still used to this very day. Thank you, viewers, and goodbye.